Welcome everyone. This is The Crowned Life, and I just want to pop in real quick today to, answer a question that comes up a lot around this time of year when we're in the thick of retrograde energy, as we are now. And it is, should I reconcile with an ex during retrograde? And some of you, you're thinking about going back to an ex. You're thinking about exes. Some of you, unfortunately, might have experienced a partner who decided they are going to resume conversations with an ex or go back to an ex, or at bare minimum, they're thinking about an ex. Yes, it happens, right? And so I want to talk about this issue because I feel like it's really important right now for people to understand what the point of all this retrograde energy is. Because personally, I get a lot of clients who come to me during retrogrades and they're like, oh, I keep thinking about this person. I can't get them out of my mind. Is this a sign? Is this an omen? Maybe you're getting signs and synchronicities. Maybe you're having dreams. Maybe this person has actually called you up, and or you're just thinking about them heavily. You can't get them out of your head, and you're thinking, is there something to this? Should I return? Should I reconcile? Should I check on this person? Is this, spirit? And especially if you're an empath like me, this can be very hard to discern. They might be thinking about you, or they might not be thinking about you at all, but maybe they're going through something difficult. And as an empath, and maybe, yes, if you're soul tied to this person because you had a deep love connection, a deep love for them that, has not ever ended, you're picking up on this psychic, intuitive, empathic type of information that something is not right with their soul. And it may or may not have anything to do with you, but a lot of times what we do with that information is maybe not the highest use of what this energy is intended to bring us, which is reflection, reviewing, revising. Okay, that's what the retrogrades are about, looking back, but not necessarily the best time for starting something new or resuming a relationship. So again, back to the key question here, should you reconcile with an ex during retrograde? I would say hold your horses on that, okay? I'm not going to say it's an absolute no in all cases, but you need to really take your time, slow your roll, and see where this goes, if you are talking to an ex. But I wouldn't rush back in to the arms of the ex. Okay, because the thing is with retrogrades, oftentimes we're not getting the full picture. We're not seeing things clearly. We're looking in the past, but are we looking in the present? Are we looking in the future? Maybe not so much. You're reminiscing about what was, but are you looking at what is and what will be? And usually when we get out of retrograde, the answers to those two latter questions become a lot more clear, and then you start understanding, as I have, having gone through the pitfalls of this, not knowing any better myself. I realize, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, we did have some good times in the past, but oh, wait a minute. We're at the same crossroads we left off when we parted ways. And even though we miss the good things about one another, what ultimately pulled us apart has not changed. It's remained unchanged. And so, that also I want to keep you in mind of that. Just because you're having good feelings and reminiscing about the past that you or this other person, doesn't mean that the hard work of making the relationship work has gone away. The same issues that remained unhealed and unresolved when you parted ways, the differences that maybe were left unreconciled, they still remain. In order to resume this relationship, you're going to have to deal with the reality of hey, we're back at the same crossroads we left off at. And you know what? In my situation, unfortunately, what I found is that we come back around the same thing, which is I'm not changing and neither are you. So here we are again. Bye. We're going to have to part ways. You know, good feelings that might have been between us are not going to be sustainable because ultimately there are irreconcilable core differences, differences in values that cannot be reconciled, and we have to part ways. So here's what I want to encourage you to do during this time, especially if you are inclined to call up an ex and you feel like you're getting signs and synchronicities and omens and, I don't know, dream activity. Confession, I've had dream activity, you know, and, you know, in the past, when I was not so well versed on these things, I would automatically rush in and think, oh, it's spirit wanting me to reach out to them. No. No, spirit wants you to sit down, shut up, and listen to what spirit has to say about this. And in my situation, maybe you are picking up on something going on their end, but you need to ask yourself, is this about me? Do I have unresolved issues? And what is the issue? And the issue might really be nothing about them. I mean, they were just a messenger. They just brought in a lesson that maybe you still have not resolved within yourself. And I can tell you recently, you know, with my experience, I have been having, you know, dreams of the same particular person night after night after night. And I'm like, why? Hello? I am so done with this. Like, get out of my dreams. I don't want this, you know? And after the initial frustration of that, I just started kind of sitting with it, with the dreams, and really praying over it and trying to discern. And I think for some people, they don't know how to do this. They don't know how to take an objective, observatory role in their dreams, where they're looking at what does the dream symbolize. You know, some of you might do well, like, for example, in this example with dream interpretation, go online, look at a dream dictionary to look at the objective, symbolic meaning of whatever was showing up in your dream. And then ask yourself, well, on a more subjective level, what does that object symbolize to me? And then look at if it's recurrent dreams, look at the themes. What are the themes? And in my situation, after I sat back and prayed about it and listened and observed objectively, I'm like, okay, well, it seems like it's a repeated storyline. It's always a different dream, but this recurrent theme is that every time it's involving this person, it is a recurrent theme of, I'm taking responsibility for their responsibility and they're letting me do it. And rather than me calling attention to the fact that, hey, you're not being responsible here and I need you to step up to the plate, and really making them either be responsible or get the heck out, I just give them an easy free pass and just take the responsibility for them while they sit on their tuchus and let me do it. And so and, you know, I sit with the emotions that come up during that dream. How did I feel during those dreams? How did I feel immediately upon waking? And then that helps me interpret, what is the emotion that I need to work through? And with the themes, what is the lesson here? Aha, the lesson is that this person was in my life to teach me about not letting people off the hook about their responsibilities, not overextending myself in being responsible for other people's responsibilities, not joining myself with irresponsible people, not ignoring the signs that, hey, this person is irresponsible and they're content to let you pick up their load. I mean, this was my soul lesson that is left unresolved. You see what a stark contrast that is from a more naive interpretation of those dreams, which means, oh, I need to call this person up. We need to reconcile. I need to try to fix and heal this situation. No, it's more about, what do I need to reconcile within myself? Because, yeah, even though maybe I have totally cut ties with this individual and I'm really done with them, and, you know, at all levels, you know, emotionally and spiritually, I'm done with them. On an individual level in my soul's journey, there is some maybe skipped lesson or unresolved problem for me to solve apart from them about that relationship. And so I hope that sharing this with you gives you more clarity about maybe some thoughts or feelings that keep coming up during retrograde about exes or just people from your past, relationships where there's been unresolved differences, yet you can't get this person out of your mind, and you're like, what am I supposed to do with this? You know, what is the point of this? I hope that what I've shared with you is going to help you really make the most of this energy, use it to your advantage. And yeah, for those of you who are saying, yep, it's an unreconcilable differences, I'm going to be talking about that next. And so I hope you'll join me for a video that I'm going to be putting out next, having to do with, you know, forgiveness. How do we get forgiveness? How do we give forgiveness in relationships where the differences are irreconcilable, or worse, let's take it up a notch. What if you're dealing with a narc, and with a narcissist, you know, forgiving is just really enabling them, you know, to continue violating over and over again. So tough questions on forgiveness to help with these irreconcilable differences. And if you're interested in that, I hope you'll join me, and you don't want to miss it. Make sure that you're subscribed and you've activated the bell for notifications. Till next time, wishing you guys all the best. Be blessed.